Hello, my name's James, and I'm here to talk to you about speaking out. And I'm going to build on this idea of salt and light, because we are all salt and light in this need to support a transition of our economic system. But before we can speak out, we need really to understand the economic system that we have. Because over the last 50 years, an idea has come to govern our global economy, which is effectively formalized or entrenched mammon at the heart of it. And we really need to rethink that and replace it with something else. There are three economic inputs. There's land, labor, and capital. Land, God's creation, our ecosystems, our beautiful planet, our natural world. And there is labor, which is people, one another. And then there's financial capital. And what's happened is that financial capital has been prioritized above the interests of land and labor. And the reason for this is that profit making has been seen as a proxy for social progress. So the more money companies make, the more they can promote prosperity. The more taxation revenue, the more employment is generated, the more wealthy societies become. But the problem is that business is such a powerful machine that if it's given the job of converting land and labor into financial profits, that's exactly what it does, but with some horrendous consequences, as we're now seeing with ecological collapse, climate breakdown, with social inequality and social fragmentation. We have financialized the human race, and increasingly that's happening through social media companies and technology, which are starting to cause disintegrations of mental health. We're seeing people losing trust in vaccines because of the interests of pharmaceutical companies being put ahead of the interests of populations. We're seeing financialized capitalism with people laboring under unsustainable debt burdens and egregious loan sharks and usury going on. It's happening everywhere. And the reason it's happening is because we've said that profit making is good and it should be prioritized ahead of the interests of land and labor. This is effectively individualism written into our economic system, and it is formalized there. So we need to upend it, we need to turn it round. And the good news is there are people all over the world who are pursuing a different idea, the idea of interdependence, that land, labor, and capital are codependent, and we need to respect God's creation, and we need to respect one another in the conduct of any economic activity, in the conduct of business. And these people are everywhere, but to be salt, we need to get out of the barrel. Salt is no good if it's just stuck in the barrel. It has to get out there in order that it can affect and change and bring flavor to anything that it touches. And that's our job, is to get out there, to find these people, to find these endeavors which are challenging this institutionalized mammon, this profit maximizing, and seeking to replace it with this better idea of people, planet, and profit coexisting together in mutual respect. And there are all sorts of endeavors, and I'll just give you some examples. First of all, when we're at work, if we're working for such a company, we can challenge that notion that profits must be prioritized over all else. When we are thinking about our savings, there's a recent campaign launched called Make My Money Matter, which is seeking to influence pension funds, which is our money, to stop them investing in things that's destroying the future for our future generations, but actually promoting a sustainable future for future generations by moving money out of certain types of investment and into sustainable investments. There's an impact investment movement which is looking to make this true for all of investment activities, so that no longer will it be acceptable to make money without regard to social and environmental impact other than obeying the law, which is obviously unable to contain the interests of the private sector of investment and business. We have endeavors such as Share Action, who are looking to influence company boards by attending AGMs and asking questions of the boards about their social and environmental performance. We can ask questions of anybody that we buy from. What are your labour practices? How much do you pay? Do you pay the living wage? What's your sustainability policy? Where do you get your materials from? What are the consequences of that? The more that we're asking questions, the more we're asking people to think about these things, and the more we're being salt and light. Every single thing that we do leaves a mark, and speaking out is something we can do in every single part of our lives. We just need to think about whether we're giving our resources and our time to things that are propping up shareholder primacy, profit maximizing, or whether we are giving our time and energy to things which are promoting the alternative, an interdependent economic system. And giving our energy and support to these people is inestimably valuable. The more vocal we can be, the better. They are often secular endeavours, and our role as Salt and Light is to go out and to find them and to give them our energy and to give them our support and encourage them, because that's our role as Salt and Light.